Hello, everyone. Mic check. Just let me know if everything's working in the Fireside QA, please. Okay. Seeing as no one's saying anything, I'm assuming that you can all hear me. Fantastic. Alright, I'll wait a minute or two for a couple more people to jump in and then we'll go ahead and begin. Fantastic. I see Relance and Gertie. Alright, I'll wait 2 more minutes and then we'll begin. If you guys could go grab your court mates and whatnot, as well as anybody else that you see online. These are once a month and they are mandatory. I'd prefer to not consistently ping if necessary. No worries, Relance. What about the guys in AI? I see Alexander, Argon, Gorondo, Griffin, Helios, Kenril, Luha, Neo, Nolhi, Altanda, Rizal, Torbjorn, Nazgul, Shifty, Urgent, and a whole bunch of others. Right, well, I'll go ahead and get started. So, this is our now third Fireside, I believe, coming into Megiddo. So there's a couple of things I wanted to go ahead and address, and I'll go through them in order. What we're going to be talking about is Seat, the in-game coalition channel, general attendance, as well as the upcoming war against the Celestial Empire, our new allies, and our first official CTA, which is tonight at 2300. That's going to be a lot of fun. Now, going to just the general rules of Fireside, boys. If you have questions, go ahead and put them into the Fireside Q&A, and I will answer them as soon as I'm finished talking about the topic at hand. And I'll go ahead and answer your questions as quickly as possible. Alternatively, if you want to go ahead and speak on comms, then you are welcome to just wave, put your hand up, and wave. I will not be looking at the Fireside voice channel itself, so if you just put into the Fireside Q&A that you want to come to the stage, then I'll go ahead and allow you to do so. Right. So, with Seaton squads, Relance, as well as Rene and a couple others, myself included, with a little bit of work that I've done on that side, have been coming up with ideas on how to implement Seat and Discord in kind of a joint environment, and push that to where the groups and the squads kind of sync with one another. But so far, that's coming up short because we're all new to Seat in regards to its back and the infrastructure and how basically the entire thing meshes together. Now, what the original plan was is that if you were to join a specific squad in Seat, you would then get that role attributed to you in Discord. And that would then sync up and it would link that way. Unfortunately, it seems to work the other way, and there's a couple of stuff that we're working on. But I'm going to go ahead and move forward with it regardless. So come next Monday, Relance, Rene, and a couple others are going to be working on the Seat thing regardless to get that up and going, at least as minimally as we can for the time being, so that the squads are up and rolling. We have the industry side of things going, we have the Black Ops side of things going, as well as the wormhole operations, the PvP side, the guerrilla warfare, and everything else that comes with it, basically. And that will be upgoing as quickly as you possibly can. Once that's rolling, we will start consolidating all the individuals who go ahead and apply to those different sorts of groups, and we'll be pushing them towards different sections of leadership. So, for example, if you're in the Black Ops squad, you may be assigned specific intelligence and reconnaissance missions, which will be spearheaded and led by Binlo, as well as potentially Phobos and maybe a couple others. Whoever Binlo decides to push on him, he's the one who's in charge of that sort of stuff. So, if you're interested in getting to know about the reconnaissance and the intel side of things, then speak to Binlo. He'll bring you up to speed, and then you guys can go from there. Any questions so far before I move on to the second part? Randy says, personal request, can you move the Fireside Q&A channel below promotions you can roll so the voice and associated text can be one above the other? Yes, I can. There you go. Any other questions so far? No? Alrighty. So the second part I want to talk about was just getting everybody into the general coalition chat. Now I've noticed a couple of people, they utilize the coalition chat as and when they're online, but they don't push their alts and stuff into it. Now, the whole point of having the coalition chat is so that everybody from Syndicate and everybody from Tempest is utilizing the coalition chat, so that if we need to either assist one another in operations, moving things up to the pocket, out of the pocket, trade goods, operations for industry, PvE, PvP, all that sort of stuff, we can grab anyone who's within the coalition channel. We can address the numbers that we have for appropriate usage for those things, and are able to ascertain a proper projection capability should we need to do so for a CTA QRF on the immediate instance. That's what it's there for. That's what it's utilized for. If you see some of your guys who aren't in it, please get them in it. Please ensure that you have the channel linked in your corporations, MOTDs as well, so that it links them to there. They can get involved in different operations that we're doing. It's always good to have your guys on consistent operations. They get to know the people in the coalition. You get to have more fleet members on your fleets. And it's a good symbiotic relationship. So if you can keep on top of that, that'd be fantastic. Any questions in that regard? Nope. Okay. So that moves on to the next part, which is to do with general attendance. Now, what I've noticed, and I understand this is to do specifically with IRL, and that's fine. That's no issue on my side. It's more just a case of trying to ascertain if there's any underlying problems IRL, if there's anything we in the coalition or in leadership can do to assist you guys in any way, shape, or form. Please let us know about it, because the attendance for the whole coalition has gone from, on a general consensus of about 22 members in fleet to about 35 plus in peak times. We dropped down to about 15 or so, and then 12 and 8, and now we're getting, where individuals just aren't showing up to fleets even though they're online. Now, I understand everyone, it's the peak of summer, everyone's going doing vacations and whatnot, and all that sort of jazz, and I'm not whacking anybody for that sort of stuff. It's simply the case of, if you're available for different sorts of things, please jump on. It's good for the junior fleet commanders so they can have individuals come on their fleets. There's no point in them pinging content an individual saying that that there's no activity for this, that, and the other one. There is. There's fleets going almost every single day. Utrick took one out not too long ago. Mavericks put one out recently as well. Randy does them also, and even Ayana, who's a brand new fleet commander, pinged a thing twice the other day, and there are a few people turning up for that one. So really try to push attendance. If you guys are online, have them online, jump online. We have content, we have things to do, and it's always nice to have your friends come along and have a chat. Any questions in regards to the attendance side of things? Remember, if you're putting your hand up, please let me know in the Fireside Q&A so that I can see it, because I have got my little list open here. Fleets. I'm scanning and go down again at the moment. So you're going to do a wormhole fleet. Yeah, that'd be nice. Okay. So I'm assuming there's no questions in regards to this. Now, here we get to the main section of the Fireside itself. This is the one that I'm have probably the most concern of in regards to everything. The upcoming war with Celestial Empire. Now, for whatever reason, and it still isn't quite clear except for the fact that Chaser 1 seems to have a hate boner for me. For whatever reason, I think he's just angry that I'm a coalition leader and he isn't, but that's just hearsay, it's purely speculation. Now, that has currently, to my knowledge, from the intelligence that we've been able to gather internally from his organization, is that they have postponed their aggressive actions and advances to us. Now, we noticed that they were in high sec prior about 2 and a bit weeks ago, and they were making advancements towards us whilst engaging other entities, and that was definitely confirmed. They had lost a couple of members on their fleet due to them not understanding high sec mechanics and getting blown up for no reason, losing over 300 mil worth of ships in terms of assault capable ships and logistics as well included. So they lost a decent amount in their first engagement, which was quite funny to see. Their engagement to us is currently on pause, and the reason for that is because Imperium is advancing through the Faithabilis, Catch, and other regions on the Western Hemisphere of the map, and they're pushing forwards into Fireco space. Now, if you don't know where that is, just go ahead and look up Faithabilis and Impasse, and they're going through those regions and they're burning that shit to the ground. Now, the Celestial Empire, this is the null block that's looking to engage us. They live in Tyre, which is the renter slash buffer zone for Fireco as a whole. They live on the borderlands of the regional connections to where Delve can reach into Fireco space. They live in that area, in the Impasse Fatabilis areas. And they're the ones who are getting hammered by the full brunt of the Imperium as I speak right now. That's where that's going on at the moment, and it's the reason why Celestial Empire hasn't fully engaged us as of current. So our initial dilemma of having at minimum 2 weeks to get ready has now increased to probably a month, maybe more, depending on how long Imperium wishes to take in regards to pushing through that area and either steamrolling, assimilating, or completely kicking out Celestial Empire from that area. Now, the good part of this is that we have intelligence as to where they're going to base in regards to evacuation and that sorts of stuff. I won't make the information public, of course, but we know where they're going to go. And if they do leave from the area that they're currently cowering in nullsec, then we're going to be ready for them. So that's going to be fun. Basically, we're going to tip the war in our favor, and instead of them coming for us and us waiting, we're going to be ready for them. But that'll be that's a if and when situation, as opposed to rather when it's going to happen or if it's going to happen at all. So it's a 50-50 sort of situation. We'll have to assess the situation on a day by day basis, continue gathering intelligence, and see where it goes in that regard. But if we do engage with them, it's not going to be something that I look at as like, we can't win it or anything like that. We can. It's. I'm not going to say it's in the bag, but I'm going to definitely say that it's something that we can go ahead and win relatively. Not easily. I'd say it's a 30-70 in our favor, to be quite honest. Now, any questions in that regard before I move on to the next section here? It'll be a good fight. They've got more skills and resources, but worse leadership and yes, Randy, that is absolutely correct. They do have their leadership in regards to pulling their members as well as confidence. The installation of confidence of their member base as well as how they treat them on a general day-to-day basis. It's as far as my intelligence goes, and as far as I know, Chaser One, it's not that great. It really isn't. But you know, it is what it is. We'll see how they shape up to when we go kick their ass. If they come to us or whether we go to them, we'll find out one way or the other. Just do the CIA's job and stomp a foreign dictator while placing our own. We definitely could give it a shot. I mean, definitely could give it a shot. It would be amusing, to say the very least. I see Jules typing. Have we gone over the industry side of the war yet? No, we have not. I am just about to go over that. Yeah. So the industry side of the war, as Jules has mentioned, we've been pushing forward quite heavily in that regard, and that's specifically to do with the type of doctrines that we're going to be utilizing. Now, I'm not going to say on the Fireside what it is because the Fireside is going to be public, and the information is predominantly needed to be internal as much as possible for the duration, as long as I can keep all of it, basically. So The industry dudes have been hard at work procuring as many materials, BPOs, parts, T1s and T2s, as much as they can get hold of for the doctrines that we need to utilize. Now you have the Dragon Scale doctrines, and they're going to be utilized with the Ankle Biter, the Patriot, and the other ones listed above as well. We may potentially need to use Siege doctrines as well, but that's going to be a different ball game. That's a whole different thing, so we don't need to worry about those for the time being. Right now, it's going to be predominantly Dragon Scales, Patriot, and Ankle Biter, and we'll go with that one. If we need any other variations of doctrines, we'll go ahead and work with the indie guys. We'll work with Dorma, Randy Borath, and the rest of them, and we'll get things up to scratch as and when is needed. But industry, primarily for the duration until we have a good portion of the doctrine going, we'll go ahead and push that sort of stuff forward. Sorry, Randy, I just saw your name and mentioned it in passing. Yeah, I know. That's my bad. I saw your name and I was like, oh yeah, Randy's part of this as well. He's part of the PvP side. So, one thing I wanted to go ahead and talk about after the industrial side of things were our allies. Now, our defense pact with Edencom Defensive Initiative, or Eden C for short, has gone ahead and gone green. So that is fantastic. We've been on multiple operations with them, Utrick and the rest of the boys from Astral and from Tempest have been going along. Relance has been in a few of their fleets. I've been in a few of their fleets and led some of them as well. They're a good bunch of dudes. We've gotten a lot of kills with them as well. And they've been very active and responsive to our guys as well as assisting with fleets. And the defense pact in that regard is going relatively well, so I'm quite pleased with that. There are some new allies who we've recently joined up with called Moist Dot. And we had fought with them in low sec before, got baited by them quite well, and we've gone ahead and try to push them into a blue status where we have consistent fights with them. We haven't actually ironed out the timing of the consistent fights or the durations or anything like that. It's relatively loose. It's going to be potentially on a weekday, which we haven't quite ironed out as to which weekday it's going to be, but it's going to be a weekday, maybe a weekend, and it's going to be late US time, so most likely from midnight onwards, so 00 onwards in Eve time, and that's predominantly for the US dudes. They do have some EU guys, but it's very few, so we'll see what we can do in that regards to push maybe an EU time zone sort of consistent fight club with them as well, which would be fantastic for the boys to hone up some of their skills and sharpen what they already have in terms of 1v1 engagements, fleet operation engagements, and that sort of stuff. It's all going to be in good banter anyway, and it will be hosted in the Halma region right outside the anchor pocket, so that's going to be fantastic for us. They're also going to have docking access to our structure in Yuctiad as well. The ACLs for that is sorted as well. So if you see them around, give them a wave, maybe punch them in the face, friendly like, and go have a drink with them. They're a good bunch of dudes. Any questions so far in that regard? No? Go on, guys. I'm talking a bit too much. I need a drink. Oh. Jules, I see you talking. Typing even. You said they were located where? They are located. I am not 100% certain. I didn't bother to ask them that, but I know it's Losec somewhere. It's nearby where we live. He's talking about Moist, I believe, the allies that we recently aligned with. Unless he's talking about Edencom. Or Caesar. Yeah, which one are you talking about, Jules? Now you're making me question things. Fuck's sake, Randy. Do 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 do. Come on, Jules. It's a big question. So, are they willing to help if we mine in their area, the low-sec ones. I know we have our other operations for box at the moment, but it's still less than perfect. Noxium. Okay, you mean Nox. So when you say if they're willing to help if we mine in the area, who specifically are you talking about? Are you talking about Eden C or are you talking about Moist? Because I doubt CISO would be willing to help us with anything right now. Chaser has a hate boner for me. Either. Probably. I mean, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've not asked them. Yeah, it really is real answer. uh, as for Moist or Eden C, that is not a question I've pushed forward to them at the moment, Jules. And the reason for that is because Moist and our relationship is relatively fresh, so I don't want to impose any particular things. It is brand spanking new as a few days ago. So, imposition on different sorts of political aspects, especially where the military projection is not something I'm going to go ahead and push forward immediately until the relationship is a bit more stable and more appropriately accessible for any sorts of formal enforcements or anything like that. The same goes for Eden C as well. Even though I've known Prospector for a while, the relation starts on the grounds of the Defense Pact, which has gone green as of, I believe, almost a week now. Yeah, exactly. Make friends, have fun, shoot the shit, have drinks, kill some of their guys, have some of their guys kill you, and that sort of stuff. And relations go from there. Once things are better with relations and we've gone on for consistent amounts of time, then yeah, I can go ahead and push forward with any sorts of, projection of force and that sorts of jazz. Randy, probably Moist. They don't live in Halma, so we don't have to worry about them sitting on our doorstep. Even if they did live in the area, they're friendly dudes. They'll go for a punch up and a fight and all that sorts of jazz in low sec, and we've made it apparent to them that if we see each other in low sec, it's basically we fuck each other up or we have a good giggle or whatever, or maybe it's just down to the pure fight club sort of thing in Helma. We haven't ironed it out, so it's just don't take any of my word for anything to do with Moist at the moment because it is just that brand new. It is not ironed out at all. Relance. I think we might be able to reach out about non-aggression for minors in low sec. Is that referencing to Moist, sir? With Moist. Yeah, that I could potentially go ahead and reach out. I'll talk with Duraz later and see if he is fine for that sort of stuff, or if he wants to do like joint industrial operations with the boys. Because they're predominantly PvP, but everyone needs to make ships, so I'm assuming they have some form of industrialists to get their stuff from. Randy, you would be surprised with how quickly PvP people change their tune when someone offers discounts on indie related items. Cover us while we mine once or twice a week and we'll help fund your fund. Yeah, you're not wrong. You are not wrong in that regard. Relance. One less thing to worry about and it's a start on building a relationship. That is very true. Right. Now, any more questions on the upcoming war with the industry or the ally side of things before I close this up with the final point of the fireside? Nope. Okay. So, FC, what do go jump off somewhere? Final thing. We have the first official CTA for Megiddo. The first official CTA, and it's not to do with structural defense or any of that sort of stuff, because that was before the coalition was officially up and running, rolling. The fucking gears of the machine were basically pumping away. This is the very first one that we've got, and this is tonight, 2300 specifically Eve time. Be there early for the operation because there's going to be a lot of logistical information sorts of stuff that we need to get done. Maverick, if you're available for it, I'm going to need you. Carlos, if you're there as well, I'm most likely going to need you guys as well. Relance also. I may have some net issues going on because I've been having some problems in my area, so I may be on, I may not be on. The only reason I'm saying I may be on this sort of thing is because I do not know the uh, accuracy for the stuff that I have going on in my area. So I am 50-50 on whether I will be able to attend during the time or not, depending on how stable my net connection is going to be. But this is only a temporary thing. Hopefully, I'll be perfectly fine and we'll be able to trudge on with the CTA no problem. And even if we don't, I've still got things that I can fall back on, so it's no major issue. All the information sorted, all we need is everybody to show up. We've got 9 of you guys here. If we can get more than that for the fleet operation, that'd be fantastic. There'll be some Moist Boys along for the operation. They're going to be primarily on the E-War logistics and utility side of things. Zell is going to be bringing heavy DPS. We're going to be a mixture of heavy DPS as well. It is Dracovax and Armor Nosai for the CTA, so make sure you are there with those. If you don't have a Nosai, grab the fitting for the Nosai. It's Dragon Scales. And if you need the fitting specifically, go into Utrecht 101's flight school and he will have it there. If you are not there and you are in the DA, you have the Dragon Scales Doctrine there as well. And you can also pull up the Execuros and the Augurs as well if you want to fly logistics. Randy, I am still clear to bring an Execura or an Augur. Yes, you are. You can bring either. Relance. We have 45 people registered on seat, which is a big improvement from a couple of days ago. I need to know who gets leadership access to your corps, which allows access to more information than standard members. If anyone is interested in a seat walkthrough, stick around after the fireside. Yes, that would be fantastic. If you grab hold of the FCs, because there's a couple of them here, just grab Maverick by the balls, grab Carlos's ear, and Randy is gonna just come there because he knows he's gonna be bent over the table, so he's very excited about that. So just grab hold of him and drag them kicking and screaming. Use Dorma's whip. It's on Rene's table, so use Dorma's whip, and they're just gonna have to obey from that one. They can't do anything about it. Right. So that is the CTA for tonight, boys and girls. Just make sure you go ahead and grab your boys. Everyone you see online, ping them repeatedly. Let them know that there is a CTA for this. It is going to be trig and no size, so utilize those. T2s, the fittings are available in Coalition Commons under the Wormhole Operation thread. Everything is available for you there. Go ahead and take a look at the logistics with the exception of the no site. I can go ahead and post that later, and you can jump on board with that. If you just bring the fittings up to Yuktiad, Relance has the Nosai. He has a lot of them, and you can just go ahead and start throwing them once you're there. So if you bring your fitting up to Yuktiad in a cloaky hauler and a bomber, whatever the hell you want to bring it up with, as long as it's fast and it doesn't die, bring it up. He'll throw your Nosai for free, fit your ship, and you're ready to go. That is all you need to do. Any questions before I tie this up? Nope. Okay. Right. That concludes the third fireside. Boys and girls, I'm going to go and wrap this up. You all take care of yourselves. Everybody, fuck off.